Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ABL Fan Zone. This is where we get to talk about sports, from sports fan to sports fan. You know, we want to talk about what we love. Sports is our passion, and we just want to talk about it. In the studio with me today, I have DJ Baggins. To the right of Mr. DJ Baggins is Karl O, a Man City fan. How you feel today, sir?
Good to be here.
Yes, and we got a Manchester United fan. He claimed not to be a Jose fan, but is a Man U fan. I don't know how that works. How you doing, Taiye?
Yeah, I'm doing very fine. Thank you for having me.
I heard your name is Ephedrine. Where'd you get that from?
Man, that's from college, from my college days. People think the way I play, I use some kind of performance-enhanced drug.
Nice.
That was during Maradona era, last Maradona World Cup. So just give it the name.
Ephedrine. Well, I can testify with it because this man we used to play back together in the Sports for Jesus back in the days. I played for TOP and he played for Jesus House, so I know he's got some skills. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think age is catching up to him, but that's a story for another day.
Thanks for putting me out there like that.
We got to my right, we got my good buddy, Arsenal fan, aka Mr. Olayinka, aka Party Addicts. MrSolitude, how you doing?
I'm good. That's enough for life.
Yeah, so. Well,
it's a great thing
I'm
to
Chelsea, as you can see, so but you know, we gotta show Arsenal love one day.
Well, I mean, we'll have you too.
Well, this show is for it's about sports. From us, all sports fans. Oh, DJ Baggins, what's your team?
I'm a national guy.
Oh, wow. So Arsenal guy in the house.
Of course. Of course.
Next time put on that jersey so that way I know.
I got you.
Yeah, we gotta get a neutral DJ next time.
Yeah, we gotta get a Chelsea DJ. So if you're a Chelsea DJ fan, come out there. Come out here and join us. Like I said, this show is for the sports fan, by sports fan. We're not professional commentators, so we just like to talk sports. And I say, you know what? Why don't we bring this to the studio and talk about it? We all sit down and we yarn, we talk sports. We want to take it to the studio and talk about it. So the first thing I want to talk about today, gentlemen, we don't want to talk about our country, Nigeria. I don't know how you guys feel. Olympic is going on right now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys have heard about missing flights. Now being able to fund the flights, Delta kicking them off the plane, and the next day they got a smaller plane, and finally they just made it to Brazil 4 hours before the game. What do you guys think?
Maybe it's God's will. I mean, with all the Zika virus and everything happening in Brazil, Nigerians, and we don't play with our spiritualism, so it's probably God's will.
You think so?
Daddy Gio has prayed for them. They probably missed the window of contacting Zika virus. This is the best time for them to learn. Now they're there. Simple.
Yenka, what do you think, man? I want to hear you. I know you're not going to say God's will.
There's just like every other thing that has to do with Nigeria. I'm one of the few people that naturally try to stay away from Nigerian issues generally, most importantly the sporting environment. It's sad. I watched the clip of the so-called sport minister earlier today and I was almost crying. One of the comments I took out of his interview today was like, who asked them to go to the United States for training? I mean, it's just beyond my comprehension.
But you can't blame them for coming there because when it was Abuja, I heard
that
they
was
have
what,
water for them.
that was what the minister said.
That's what he was
That was what the
alluding
minister.
to.
The minister of sport. That was what he said. His question was, they were asking him, why was the Nigerian team stuck in the US?
Okay.
And his answer was, what were they doing in the US in the first place? I mean, I had to go on Google to read about this so-called minister. This guy is a lawyer. He was a professor at the University of Jos. He has a very, very good resume. I mean, I would think someone...
A sports resume?
I mean, you could research anything. With technology these days,
True.
You don't have to necessarily know. If you're a leader, you have to know how to put a team together. You don't have to know things these days. Just put a competent team together to educate you about.
Carl, what do you think? I mean, what's your opinion? I want to know
What's happening with the Nigerian team is a symptom of what's happening to Nigeria as a whole.
Okay.
It's just it's a symptom of what's happening in Nigeria as a whole. It is disgraceful.
So it's not God's will.
You know what they say every time something happens to Nigeria, we say God
The problem is they shouldn't have come at all. If you are going to come 4 hours before your first game, you shouldn't come at all. It's a disgrace. Nigerians deserve better than what we have.
But we can't blame the players because the players did their part. I mean, they showed up and they're in training. I think what happened was
the management.
It's a matter of funds,
the
which has always been the
the
issue.
sport ministry failed to provide adequate funding for the program. That's always the problem. So I mean, the other day, look at this instance. During the burial of Stephen Keshi, this is a guy that was owed several months of salary, and they were going to buy a 3 million naira worth of casket for his burial. And this is the guy they never appreciated when he was alive.
Well, here's the
That's
problem.
how misplaced.
Here's the problem. Again, it comes back to leadership. If the sports ministry doesn't have money years in advance, Olympics is every 4 years, Abi.
Yeah.
They should go to the private sector, raise money, let the private sector sponsor these kids to go.
But they've been planning this trip for Olympics
4 years,
for about a year and a half that I know of. And I personally met with Keshi at the Baltimore soccer convention. So I know, and we talked about this. We even talked about them possibly coming to Maryland to train before going. Of course, it never happen. So I know they've planned it. So how can they not book the flight, right? And all these basic things.
But planning, planning and funding are two totally different things.
I understand. But when they were in Nigeria, we all heard it that they couldn't have water to drink. So they couldn't train 1 or 2 days because of lack of water.
Yeah. Funding, I think funding is the main issue here.
Did you see the interview Olise had? It was a tale-telling interview. I read through most of it. This guy was using his personal money to feed the team when he was the coach of the Nigerian soccer team. It's sad. I mean, most of us work for corporations around here. I mean, how many times do you have to take money out of your pockets to
quite honestly, I see it as two things.
It's crazy.
It's either one, there's still a lot of corruption besides the fact that they've been trying to curtail that in the past. There's probably still a lot of corruption going on where somebody had managed to spend the funds meant or earmarked for the Rio Olympics. That's one.
Or put it in an account to generate interest.
Yeah, but two, if they said the federal government finally stepped in, got them a bigger plane with promise of medical help and everything on the plane for the players who needed it, so that they'll be adequately prepared for the game. But the federal government has bigger problems happening right now, so I've been concerned about a Rio Olympics when we have no dollars in the country. With inflation.
Nigeria has no business if we cannot prepare for a 4-year Olympic tournament. We have no business being here.
That's true.
Because
I agree.
Because unless by the grace of God that we become successful, we are successful, but they are doomed to failure.
So hold on 1 second though. So we are here now. We are not here. We're here. 4 hours before a game. Do you guys actually think Nigeria will win this first game?
They can.
Wait, why are we playing
Nigeria?
What do you think? Do you think Nigeria will win tonight?
I mean, we're superstitious, so by God's grace.
See, let me tell you how sad it is. I don't even know who we're playing. That's how disconnected I am with the issue with Nigeria. I'm telling you, it's sad.
But this is the thing. The temperament of the players is what really counts at this point. Because, what's happened has happened.
Correct.
Let me tell you, they can see it in different ways. You can go in there and say, hey, you know what? I'm depressed and I'm unconcerned with what's happened. These guys didn't get us a plane. I'm not going to play up to par. Or you can take all the aggression and anger of everything that's happening and bring it all on the field. So there's a possibility that they could win.
Aggression, even if you have aggression, that doesn't mean it will make your legs work.
The reason why
we all play soccer.
If you're tired, you're tired.
That's true.
Right. You can't beat fatigue.
The reason why we may win is for one reason only. The players are going to play their hearts out because there will be scouts there.
Okay, so
they're looking for opportunities.
My personal opinion, I think we will win. I think we have the talent, And speaking of talent, John Obi Mikel, at the age of 29, and I don't know, 28, 29, I know it's around that age. Why is he still going to the Olympics?
Why not?
First of all, it's a defensive midfielder for Chelsea, right? Chelsea just brought in Conte. Matic is still there. I think, in my opinion, Mikel should be at Chelsea fighting for a position, not on the bench like he did last year and starting only 6 games.
But Taiye,
why is he at the Olympics?
That's your boy. We should be speaking to that.
That's my opinion.
Taiye, maybe he knows that he's gone. Maybe he's looking for another option. But it breaks my heart with him because I think Mourinho killed that guy.
Thank you.
Because I watched him on a 21 World Cup against Messi in the final. Was it 1995 or 96? He was playing number 10. And he was beautiful. All of a sudden, he's playing DM.
And they still play number 10 with Nigeria most of the time.
All of a sudden, he's playing
defensive.
But
this is the thing. Mikel has always been one of those players that's been content with what was handed to him. If you look at it, right now at age 38, or what did you say his age was?
28.
Okay, so let's go with that official.
That's the official age. Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Go with the official age.
Come on, you don't
at
do
age
that.
28.
You don't do that to your countryman, man.
I'm just saying. Many players have gone to the World Cup like into their 30s.
Miller.
And other international competitions. I see no reason why Mikel should not go. And let's look at the perspective of what you said. I agree with you. Mourinho killed his career, in my opinion. Well, maybe not his career, but a lot of potential that he had. Yep. He was content being on the bench because I feel like he was intimidated by a world-class coach that said, hey, sit on the bench and learn. And he was content to, like, if he say so, that must be the limit of my skill.
We warned him. It should have come to United. You know that, right?
But
you think everybody should have come to United. So that's not really...
I watched the final. I watched that final against Messi. Yeah. This guy... He was playing not as good as Messi, but he was close. He was holding the ball.
Mikel Obi is a bona fide, talented.
Here's my opinion. Here's my opinion about Mikel. Right? I don't think we should blame him for the way he turned out. I don't think he turned out bad because let's be real. How many Nigerian players have stayed with a top 4 team in APL for as long as Mikel has?
How many years?
Not too many.
I don't agree with that perspective.
Hold on 1 second. On the bench.
Wait, hold on. Let's look at his titles. Let's look at FA Cup, Champions League. Let's look at all that. He participated. Not only that, he's still one of the highest, if not the highest paid Africa in EPL. Not talking about I'm not talking about Ghana and those guys that won their way.
What I don't agree with you with Taiye with this is that the perspective that an African player, Nigerian, well, let's just say let's blanket it. An African player, if they happen to find themselves in a top 4 team in any major league internationally, it's like they should start thanking God, and they've been thrown a bone.
Whether they play first team or they sit on the bench,
right? Like they should count themselves so lucky, and I don't think it's the skill. Mikel will be in a team like Arsenal. I'm not saying they're not like the man you think, but a coach like Arsene Wenger or even Pellegrini would have used Mikel Obi a whole lot much more and utilized them than
what do you think,
a coach like Jose Mourinho.
What do you think Ferguson would have done with him?
But let's be,
we tried to get it.
So I'm not saying he should be content, stand on the bench. What I'm saying is there's not too many out there that has been in APL top 4 team for a very long time.
True.
So we got to give credit where credit
is due. Talk about Victor
Moses. And number two, my last point about this is Mikel Obi has been with Chelsea for about 9 years. In that 7 to 9 years, we've had about 7 to 9 coaches. And every coach has kept him. So there's something they see in him for them to keep him.
True. He's like the sixth man.
He warms the bench.
Exactly. Whatever it is, they like him, and we got to give him credit. So speaking of Olympics and everything, today we find out that Brazil drew 0-0 with South Africa at home with Neymar on the team. What do you feel? What do you feel?
For me, I always Brazil needs to go back to their Ginga style. I don't know if anybody watched that Pele movie. Right? Right? Okay. Brazil needs to figure out a way to go back to the original way they play. They're trying to play this European style mixed with some Ginga, but it's not working. Look at what happened in Copa America. Not just this time, but the last time as well. Look at what happened in the World Cup. Brazil needs to find its essence again and play with the freedom and discipline that they're known for.
I agree with the discipline part. I agree with finding their essence. I'm not sure if I agree with the style. Samba style is kind of played out. People have come to know what to expect from them.
When I say Samba, I'm not talking about Samba of 1968, the World Cup. I'm talking about the flair that they naturally have. Look at Oscar, for example. Oscar has flair. He can move the ball.
This is true,
right? Yeah. But he still has a discipline to know when to pass and when to shoot. I mean, he scored 2 goals yesterday. One on the penalty, one against during the friendly against Milan.
Yeah,
and he was shining. They need to figure out how to do that.
My opinion about it, I think Brazil is not as good as we think they are.
Not anymore.
Not as good as they used to be. They've had 2 big tournaments now that they are hosting at home. World Cup, and Olympics. So I don't think they're going to win this Olympic. All right, so real quick, who do you think is going to win the Olympic?
I'm a Spain guy. I think I'm going to go with Spain.
I have no idea at this point.
Okay.
Nigeria. I'm going to stay patriotic since all of you want to.
Man, I think
let's address the elephant in the room.
I'll pick Mexico.
I pick Nigeria.
I will go to Portugal since they just won the Euros.
This is true. Okay.
Is Ronaldo going?
No.
They're not going to win.
They didn't need Ronaldo to win anyway. So, all right. So we're gonna go on real quick topics, right? I just want to know what your opinion. Like for example, what do you think about Sam Allardyce being hired to lead the England national team?
I like that.
You like it?
Yeah. Okay. I'm not saying I'm a big Sam Allardyce fan, but I think the man has paid a lot of dues to be worth getting a job as an England coach, as an English coach. Because I mean, look at it. Look at the people they interview. It doesn't matter about what he's won. Sam Allardyce has always been a workhorse. and he is the proverbial, one of those people that you get when you need to fix things. He's a fixer. And let's face it, the English team, just like the Brazilian team, needs fixing. Sam Allardyce has a long history of being able to come to a team and kind of fix it, like save them from the brink. That's what he's known for. Now, if we want to say that England has its glory days, they should be looking for some world-class coach. Okay, so we can question it. But they're kind of coming from the brink, and that's what Sam Allardyce does. He brings teams back from the brink.
Karl, do you think it's a good hire?
Well, I think it's adequate for England. I think it's adequate for England. I think England's problem is not a matter of skill. It's a matter of putting the right people in the right place. What the hell? Why was Sterling playing in the Euros? She never have been
my
there.
God, that was
right. My own thing is this: it doesn't matter who England hires as coach. The problem with the English team is the fact that they do not go out there to have experience in other countries. So that's
what do you mean? You mean the players? I'm talking about the players.
I'm talking about the players.
But
no matter what.
Specifically, let's look at the players right now. Do you think England hired the best coach available to them?
I don't know. I mean, because it's not. My thing is this: it's not a coaching problem regarding the English team.
I agree. I disagree with that.
Most of the players are overrated to start with. So until they are so good that teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, and all the top teams in the world are
the FA
to have further experience.
The English FA wanted an Englishman.
Okay.
So they limited the type of coach they can get, and of the pool of Englishmen who are available, he probably is the most adequate.
But Karl, just like what you said, he is adequate. And I disagree on the overrated. Yes, some people might overrate some players on the English team. But okay, look at the game they played last in the Euros. You say it's not a coaching problem, but Jamie Vardy is on the bench. Rashford is on the bench. Like, come on, that's not a coaching problem. Come on, man. Any coach worth his salt would have done. We were watching it and we were picking the players and looking at him like, is this guy crazy? It is a coaching problem.
It's because what's the name of the guy that moved to Man City? The short guy.
Sterling.
Why is Sterling in the team?
He might be overrated, but he had other options.
I'll tell you. The English.
Hold on one second. So, I think Sam Allardyce is not the best coach available. Is it the best English guy available? Maybe.
Who would you have chosen?
I think Roberto Martinez was available, and now he's been hired by Belgium. Right?
But the FA said they wanted an Englishman. The FA was very clear they wanted an English person, which I disagree with.
I disagree with that too, because just because it's an Englishman doesn't mean he's going to do the best job. If you want to win, you want to get the best man available, and I think Roberto Martinez was the best international coach available. Now he's being hired by Belgium, right? Belgium is a very, very talented team with a bad coach, I think.
You know what? I think, he has some form of bias for Roberto Martinez. I think that's
this
one
is
of
true.
the...
You've always had Martinez.
But Martinez has his issues.
Yes, he does.
Right? Defensively, right? He's more of an offensive type of coach, but he trades more offense for defense. Right, look at John Stones, for example. His guy looks like an idiot right now. He can't even play a ball. Look at all the defensive players for Everton. They didn't play well last season. He trades offense for defense. He needs to be more disciplined in defense as well as balance the offense. That's his problem.
Again, I go with what Karl said. As far as being adequate for what the team needs right now, Sam Allardyce is a proven fixer. And England needs a fixer.
If they want an Englishman like they said they wanted, I guess they got their man.
They got their man.
Now, speaking of getting their man, I'm a Chelsea fan. And Jose is one of the players, one of the coaches that made Chelsea. Now, we ended up firing him after the second term. And Man U fans are happy and saying,
not all Man U fans.
Let me finish.
No.
Okay. Wait.
Hold on. I'm gonna chill.
Okay, let me correct myself. Like I said, this is a show for the fan by the fan, so we can talk about it. We can correct ourselves when we make mistakes. Yeah. Most Man U fans are happy that I know, okay, that they got Jose.
Like Abby.
Like a lot of people that we know. So my thing now is, and I'm gonna start from DJ Baggins. Let's just all give on 3. Let's just give thumbs up or thumbs down. Who thinks Man U's choice of hiring Jose is a good choice? Okay, so we got 2 thumbs up, we got 2 thumbs down, Oh, okay, because you're looking at confused with that.
I mean, Manchester.
You know the reason why I was hesitant. You know why I was hesitant.
I'm a City fan. I'm a City fan, and I think United, of the available coaches available, they picked the right one because he always wanted that job.
Oh yes.
And if you always want something, you most probably, more than likely, you'll be able to deliver.
So hold that thought. From a Man U fan, you have your thumb down, right?
Yeah, he's not even spent close to 2 months as the coach of Man U, and he's had 2 major controversies already.
Yes.
One, it took
Bastian
Schweinsteiger.
Yeah. Without, I mean, if you're a leader, no matter what you want to do, good or bad, you have to communicate to your followers the reason why you're doing whatever you're doing. Yeah. Then he took the number 9 jersey from what's his name? Without even talking to him about it. That's rude. That's disrespectful. If my boss do something like that to me at work, we're gonna have issue. I'm probably gonna quit that job because you don't put me in that. So already knowing Jose for who he is already started trouble in Manchester United. We're not even into the season already.
So I agree with you to an extent, and I'm not a Man U fan. I don't hate Man U, but I'm not a Man U fan. I actually respected Sam Allardyce. I think he's one of the top coaches ever, in EPL. Period.
You mean Jose?
No, Sir Alex. I think he was one of the best coaches ever in EPL, in the whole history of EPL. Now you're going from Sir Alex, who is well respected and commands the locker room, to Jose Mourinho. I think that's a problem because there's a lot of baggage that comes with Jose Mourinho. First of all, the media. Everything he says will be scrutinized. Every game he loses will be scrutinized. So we have to account for that. And he also does a lot of things that are unnecessary, like sending a grown man, a World Cup winner, to U23 to go play with the U team. That's
the captain of the German team.
Taking a player's jersey without doing that is bad. Now look at a player like James Rodriguez, right? Being offered a chance to go to Man U to play, and he says, no, I don't want to go. I want to stay here. I'd rather stay here. If my other choice is Man U, I'm staying where I am. Even if I'm going to end up being benched, I'm going to stay there. Because I don't want to go play for Man U. Now, you also have one more point. You also have players like Mata, right? That he sent away from Chelsea when he was there. Now, Mata is now with Man U, and Jose comes. What do you think Mata is going to do? Especially when you just bench the World Cup winner and send him to the U23.
Yeah. This is my take on Jose Mourinho, though. You mentioned Sir Alex. Let's not forget historically, Sir Alex was the only person, Jose Mourinho, factual, the only person he respected.
I understand.
At all. That he was probably a little intimidated by. Not just that. They had a kind of, I don't want to say love and hate relationship, but a kind of weird friendship whereby, and mutual respect, where Sir Alex looked at it like he might be the one to take up the helms after I'm gone. But of course, Jose had a job. He would have actually gotten the job a long time ago. But the Jose then and the Jose now, after the antics and actually knowing what a lot of us Arsenal fans have been telling you all for a long time, and knowing him now, this is why I disagree about being Man U. Man U is the English team. And what that means, City, you guys are Arab money and all that stuff. Man U is that English team, royalty. Jose Mourinho does not fit.
Here's how I look at it.
The legacy of Man U.
Here's how I look at it. So 2 years, Manchester United have been 4th and 5th, I think, all the past 2 years or so. Will Mourinho take them at least above 4th? I think so.
I think so too. Right? Because he's going to buy it.
Right. Point number two is one of the reasons why they wanted Mourinho, who was available, was because the City had Guardiola. The natural counterpart.
This is true.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So when you look at those two things, based on what they have now, they really had no choice. They couldn't go with what's the name? The old
Van
Gaal for the next 1 year.
And
who was available?
But what about what he's doing right now? He's basically trying to sign a check to place Man U in the EPL. No offense against Man U. I don't actually hate Man U, but you cannot just pull out checkbooks to try to buy your way into positions, which is what Jose has always done.
I think you're
and got him props for it.
Hold on. You're referring to the Pogba situation.
Yeah, that's what it's referring
Every
to.
situation, that's what it's going to be. Overpriced players and big names, while all the good lads are sidelined.
Go ahead.
Jose has not been the coach that he used to be since he left Porto. Just take it like that. I don't know what went wrong with him.
What do you think is going to happen?
The reason why I said that is that he went to...
I think since he left Inter. Inter. When he got to Real, I think he changed. But go ahead.
No, because look at it. He won the Champions League with little or nothing.
Yeah,
That's how you know a good coach, and that's why I respect Alex Ferguson, and that's why I respect Wenger. I would take Wenger over Jose anytime, any day. I know you Arsenal fans, because this is a guy. Wenger is a guy that would take a player, that unknown player, and turn them into superstars.
So speaking of players, right?
Jose has never done that. And some Chelsea fans will argue it. He has never done that.
Hold on 1 second, right? Speaking of players, do you guys think Pogba is a good buy?
It's a waste of money.
No, it's a waste of money.
No, I would rather play. I would rather get.
I know how Baggins feels about Pogba. We had that discussion.
Let me just say this real quick. This is Manchester United we're talking about here. So let me. I know my noisy neighbor. You know, chill. All right, chill a little bit. All right. So here's the problem. Here's the problem with. I wasn't favorable to firing Louis van Gaal. I'll say that he has his issues, but this guy took the team from 7th position to 4th position, and unfortunately last season, for whatever reason, they ended up 5th. We won the FA Cup. This one of the things that Man U do over the years is that they show steady improvement. You know, they build foundation, and that's what we do. We don't buy titles, and that's what we hired Mourinho to do right now. To buy players so that we get success at every cost.
But is Pogba a world-class player?
So I would rather buy 2 center defenders, center backs. 2 world-class somebody.
You're spending. Think about it, right? From a business perspective, you gave this guy free. Wasn't a free agent. He was free. Pogba.
No, we sold it for 800,000.
Let's just say £1 million. You are buying him back for £100 million.
It's insane.
That's business. I mean, I don't blame.
No, that is insane.
That's 1,000% return.
Do you know how much money we've made on all the players? It doesn't matter. You win some, you lose some.
Something earlier that I agree with. Pogba is a good player, not a great world-class player. Now, personally, I don't know about world-class. I think Pogba is a great player. Is he worth $100 million? Nobody but Messi and Ronaldo are worth $100 million.
Here's my quick opinion about
those
Pogba
two players.
Before we move on. I think Pogba is a good player. He's a great player for Italian league, but not a great player for the rest of the world. Have you ever seen Pogba perform on the world stage like Champions League? Not really. He's been average. Yeah. He went to Euro. A lot of people were saying he's going to be the best player in Euro, and he was average at best. You see what I'm saying? And I think the second game of the France game, they actually benched him. Mm-hmm. So I think he's average.
I think if he had stayed in Man U, he would have been a better player.
Yeah,
the couple of games he played in Man U, it was really, really solid.
So okay, let's move on. I want to start from DJ Baggins again. For some reason, every time I see him, I want to start from this side. All right, DJ Baggins.
Yes, sir.
Who's your top 4 for EPL? Who do you think is going to win the league? Let me see your top 4 from number 1 to 4.
Besides bias.
Yeah.
Be biased as you want to.
Remember,
it's on camera. Without bias.
It's on camera, so we can
go with your heart.
No, that's what.
Go with your heart, Bragi.
My brain.
Go with your heart.
Go with whatever you want to go with.
All right, I'll go with my heart. Gunners will be second.
Hi. So fun.
But for some reason, I feel like Man U might be a one-trick pony. It will just be one season and it'll be.
Just tell us that.
So Man U, Arsenal, Leicester 4th, and 3rd, City.
Mr. City.
I'll be honest with you, this season, it may be Arsenal, City, United, and Liverpool.
I'm gonna go with United. This has nothing to do with Jose. I mean, United is
just go ahead. Take it.
So I'll say
on camera. Don't worry. Remember that.
I'll say City. I say United, City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Nothing for Chelsea this year.
MrSolitude.
For me, bias apart, I think it's the year for the Gunners.
Every year.
Look, let me fix that.
How you gonna say bias apart?
I hate you people. I did it
every year.
Okay, bias apart.
Don't interrupt him. Let him go. You need tissue?
Look, I think we're out for this. This is what we have to go through every time we talk about Arsenal.
Okay, so
bias apart,
just give us your top
with a
4.
straight face. Yeah. I think Arsenal. It's finally Arsenal's year. to actually win the league. And there's certain things I see, like I think there are a couple of decisions that Wenger has to do that will cement that. If it happens, and I won't put it out now, but if it happens, it's going to be Arsenal number one. I think Manchester United, with Jose Mourinho, as much as I hate him, might come in second. I think Liverpool is going to be third, because I think they're going to pull out all the stops, and their coach is a world-class coach that people sometimes underrate. And I think Leicester is not going to be caught slipping. People think they're like a one-hit wonder, but I think they're going to be fourth. No offense against City. I think City is in a downside, and they're going to need 1 year to come back.
I'll tell you why I disagree with you. I'll tell you why. Pellegrini was nonsense. From the day they hired him, I said this guy would not do anything. That league he won was luck, because Liverpool slipped up.
I don't know. I think you guys
right?
give a hard time.
Before we go into this, let me give you my top four. So my top four, you can call it bias, you can call it whatever you want to call it. I think Chelsea is going to win it.
You're kidding,
because
right?
we don't have Champions League. We have a better coach. We have a coach that can actually play different formation from that defensive, score one goal, defensive kind of crap that we've been doing.
He'll take you guys from 10 to 8.
So,
that's about it.
No.
So I think Chelsea first. And now we have to give it to Man City second. And the reason being is I think Pep is a world-class coach, obviously. But they have the players. And now they have a coach that can actually work with them. I think Arsenal will be third, because I don't see Arsenal coming out of the top four. And Wenger actually have some serious competition.
I'm just giving you a side eye right now.
So I think he's going to come out with his A game at every game. So Arsenal may never win it, but they will come third and they'll be in top four. Then I would give it, I'm kind of torn between Leicester, Tottenham and Man U, but I'll give it to Man U, because as useless as Jose is, he does knows how to win game, boring game, and he may win his game, boring game to four. So that's my top four.
I think Leicester just got better. I'm sorry.
I think the first game of the season for Arsenal, which is Liverpool,
yes,
will tell you what they're going to do this season.
Unfortunately, we're one of those teams that the first game doesn't tell anything.
I think there's so much.
I have a question for Solitude.
There's so much happening. There's so much tied to this season. The first 5 or 10 games of this season
might decide the season.
Okay, so
I have a question for Solitude.
Okay.
Somebody said that Arsenal has been linked to so many players than the population of the world. Is that true?
Alright, so before we wrap it up,
Kill his microphone.
I want to just go to the first week schedule.
Yes. We have Liverpool Sunday.
Let me wait, relax. I just want to give everybody opinion. Remember, this is on camera, so you can't lie. 7 a.m. Saturday, August 13th is the beginning of the season, and then we're gonna have our own recording after that. So, first game, Hull City, Leicester City.
1-1.
1-1.
Leicester takes it.
2-0.
2-3-0. Easy.
I'm not gonna say the score, but I'll give it to Leicester. I don't think Hull
I
is
give it
ready.
I'll give it to Leicester, yeah.
I don't think Hull is ready there. Burnley, Swansea.
3-1.
For who?
Swansea.
I peg it at
2-0.
Okay.
I peg it at a draw.
I go with Burnley. I think that's a surprise.
Burnley's gonna be surprised.
I think it's a surprise. Crystal Palace, West Brom.
West Brom easy.
2-1.
West Brom.
2-1.
West Brom.
Yeah.
I think Crystal
Brom.
Palace. I think Crystal Palace actually one of the teams that may rarely get it. But let's move on. This is a very, very tough one. Everton and Spurs.
2-2.
Oh.
1-1.
2-2.
It's gonna be do or die first game.
Yeah, I know.
I'm excited about that game. 2-2.
2-2. Spurs are winning that game.
2-2.
Spurs are winning that game.
Yeah.
You know what?
I'll give it to
Spurs are winning.
Everton.
He has to redeem himself.
There we.
I'll give it to Spurs because I don't think Everton can keep Lukaku.
Is
Without
Lukaku?
they
Is
can
he
score.
going?
We don't know yet.
We don't.
want him.
65
Let's see.
million pounds.
Next week we'll tell.
Middlesbrough, Stoke City.
I say upset here. I say 2-1.
For Stoke?
Middlesbrough's at home.
Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough at home.
Yinka?
You know what? Those championship teams
2-1
at
Stoke.
home,
Alright.
I give it a draw. Or Middlesbrough winning.
Yeah,
Nah,
2-1 Middlesbrough.
I know we're supposed to choose one, but Middlesbrough at home is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I'll go with Stoke. I just think Middlesbrough coming out, man, they're gonna have to feel the pain of the EPL.
Championship team.
You see, that's the fallacy though.
Yo,
Championship
and
teams are
Watford.
way more aggressive.
2-0.
Anyway, let's go.
Southampton 2-0.
Southampton, Watford.
Southampton, Watford.
Yeah.
Actually, I see a draw there.
I
too.
see a draw too. 1-1.
Mr. City.
Southampton.
Mr. City.
3-1.
City, Sunderland.
3-1.
For Southampton.
No.
For Sunderland.
Sunderland.
City, Sunderland.
Oh, for City.
3-1.
You gotta be clear now.
3-1.
I see 2-2.
There's no other option.
I see 2-2 here.
City has an easy game.
3-1.
No, 2-2 for me.
I think it's an easy game.
City wins it.
Jose, we make sure
City wins it. They have an easy game.
That's Sunday, 8:30 a.m. Man U, Mr. Man U, come to you. Man U
1-0. No, Jose.
2-1.
Rubbish.
Hold on, it's Man U versus who again?
Bournemouth.
2-1.
Man U wins.
1-0.
Man U away. 2-1.
Yeah, they win.
Are we actually giving this score? This
2-0.
1-0.
I agree with you. Jose is boring. The biggest game of
Yeah, I know, right?
11 a.m. Arsenal Liverpool.
3-1.
I'll go with
Arsenal wins it.
3-1.
What's the score? Prediction.
I think I might go with that 3-1 too, but I'm more inclined to maybe 2-1.
I watched the preseason. There's a hunger in Arsenal.
Oh yes.
There's always hunger.
2-0.
Liverpool. 2-0 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool.
That's not quality player. Why are you expecting to win?
We don't need to though.
3-1 Arsenal.
Against Liverpool, we don't.
Oh, really?
We don't.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go with Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to, and the reason being is Arsenal doesn't have a defender right now, and Klopp will find a way to get around that.
But you sure?
Last game of
We actually have a
You sure
defender,
Sturridge
and you guys are going to actually find out this
to the
season
beginning of the season.
what Rob Holding can really do.
You sure Sturridge will make it to the beginning of the season?
You mean Sturridge?
Yeah.
don't worry about Sturridge.
I think he's gonna be fit this season. He's gonna be.
He's gonna
We
get
say
it.
that every year.
He's gonna get injured. I don't wish him bad. I'm actually. A fan
I don't
of
wish
Sturridge.
him bad.
I don't
It's
wish him bad,
a
but
question.
It's just I don't think his body is cut for 38 EPL games a year.
At all.
And some people's body are just not cut for it.
Sturridge?
So yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
He's
talented
injury
kid, but
prone. I don't know
think
if his body's not cut for it. I just feel like some players, even though they have the stamina, they can handle it, but they're just injury prone.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
like
We're saying the
Phil
same thing.
Jones.
Exactly.
That guy is
injury prone.
What's that guy that you guys paid for like 20 years and he only played 5 games? What's his name?
Wilshere?
Yeah, no, Diaby, something like that.
Brazilian one.
They have a lot of players.
We're out of time, but
I'm just messing with
Arsenal apart. Abu Dhabi was supposed to be, not just supposed to be, but I think everybody could see the potential of him being a world-class midfield player. Let's be real. Arsenal apart, no bias. But his injuries wrecked him more than any player in the history of football that I know.
This is not an Arsenal show. They have plenty. The last game of the week, I'll start since I'm a Chelsea fan. I think Chelsea is going to come out beating West Ham maybe 2-1. Yeah.
No.
I think it's
2-1. Chelsea.
1-1.
No, West Ham wins this.
West Ham?
West Ham is the underdog of this season that people want to sleep on.
Chelsea at
and
home.
they will start with Chelsea.
Chelsea at home. First game, new coach. 2-1.
2-1 West Ham.
Are they home? No, they're away.
Chelsea's at home.
So,
Oh, really?
I think Chelsea should start off the way their destiny was this last season.
ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ephedrine, I want to thank you for coming to the studio.
We all play here,
And
man.
having fun with us.
Yeah.
Still,
Anytime.
all money. We wish you guys best of luck. Don't worry, we know you are gone now. Thank you for listening, DJ Baggins. MrSolitude.
Yes, sir.
My brother.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
This
been
was
a pleasure.
great. It was my pleasure.
Everybody,
Yes.
thank you for watching Afrobeat Live Fan Zone. ABL Fan Zone. It's been a pleasure. Everybody have a chance to be in the studio with us. If you want to have fun, you know how to contact us. Follow us on Facebook, Afrobeat Live, Twitter, Afrobeat Live 1, Instagram, Afrobeat Live, www.afrobeatlive.net. It's our website. And download our apps, 24/7 music. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. See you guys next week. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.